Hey guys, going to do a quick video on how to install the CPP shock extenders for the rear of the C10s. This is a must to do on these trucks when they're lowered because the stock shocks will be at a very large angle from the trailing arm up to the factory mount. So definitely don't want that. Doesn't ride good. So CPP kit gives you the new upper brackets that you have to get out 2 rivets. You've got a rivet here and then a rivet here. So we'll grind those rivets out, then we'll punch them through. This top mount will then go in, as well as then the bottom mount. As you can see, it has the big holes. This attaches through the U-bolts and then gives you the new shock stud to fit. So we'll go ahead and throw on the time lapse, get these ground down and punched out, and then get the new ones put on. And there we go. So the brackets are out. You can see the big difference between the two. As you can see, this one moves the shock a lot further back and then higher. And then tip is this oval instead of the squared out. That faces forward. So these basically just go right up underneath here, and you'll bolt it in with the hardware that they provide. So we are going to be going and painting this whole frame, but just to show you what it looks like installed, you take the bracket, this back one, you'll want to make sure that you put the bolt up through the bottom, and that's to give you enough clearance for where the shock fits in there. Also makes it easier to hold it up. All right, so that's the back one in. The front one, you can just drop it down from the top. Do your washer, then your lock washer, and then your nut. Lock washer doesn't want to go on. There we go. All right, so that's what the upper kit looks like. You can tell, pretty easy, straightforward. There's the bracket. Right underneath there. So now we'll do the other side, and then the bottom. Again, bottom is pretty easy. This just attaches up through the U-bolts. You put your U-bolts through, and then your nuts, then the side for the shock stud. The CPP kit does give you the hardware for the new shock studs. Makes it nice, all grade 8 hardware too, so you don't have to worry about any cheap stuff. Like I said, this just goes right here through the U-bolts and attaches like that. And you can tell the angle will be a lot better going from here up to the new mount right there. And that's it. As you can see, very easy install to do it. Obviously it's going to take you a lot longer. One, if you're fighting to get the U-bolts off, I already had my U-bolts off, got new U-bolts coming in. You can cut them if you need to. Probably the best thing to do is like 40 bucks for new U-bolts, then you're not spending the time fighting them. But you can get to the nuts or the rivets underneath from the bottom. Obviously not as easy. Having the bed off, if you've got the bed off, it's an easy upgrade to go ahead and do. Highly recommend it for any lowered truck. Total time, I think here it took me maybe 15 minutes tops. And that's from pulling out all the tools to getting it done. So now we're gonna go and get the frame painted, take this off, get the frame painted, and then start putting everything back on together on it. Alright guys, and here's what it looks like with the shock relocators installed. So you can see down at the bottom, you've got the relocator, the shock stud that they give you. Up top, you have, again, the same shock stud they give you. Bolts in, again, this one goes from the bottom up to make sure your shock can clear. And then you've got the front one over here. So both sides are done. I'll be putting on shocks once I do some measurements. Got the rest of the rear end all bolted together. Got the 2-inch blocks are put in, 5-inch springs. So the rear suspension is all done, bolted in, the rest of the C-notch. So the next thing up is to tackle the brake lines. So I've got the brake lines. Again, running the inline tube kit. Pre-bent lines will make it nice and easy. Gonna do all new brake setup. Went ahead and got the, sorry, I'm backing into stuff over here. Got a new brake drum kit that's gonna be going on this. Using the stock 12 bolt for right now. I will eventually go and do a disc brake conversion on it, probably upgrade to posi, but with what I'm doing right now and trying to keep it budget just to get this on the road, that's a down the road thing. So we'll be putting on all new hardware for the brake drums. If anyone knows where to find the brake drum lever that goes in between here, I think sometimes it's referred to as a parking brake lever, let me know, because everywhere I look, they don't have those for these trucks. It's the square bodies. Do have the Performance online POL. That bar is good to go. Just need to get some hardware for this, and then a bolt and nut for underneath there, and then the panhard bar will be good to go as well. So rear suspension's all going good, and should have this off the jack stands once we finish doing the brake lines and fuel lines. Thanks for watching, guys.